The ground shook under Noah's feet. Something big was about to happen. The sky turned away in sadness. Even heaven knew people had done wrong. Long ago, children played and laughed. Now the wind blows, but no one answers. People laughed at Noah's warning, but even strong mountains grow old. He didn't walk in fear. He walked because God told him what to do. The quiet all around was not peace. It was a peace before the storm. His hands were tired and rough, but he kept doing what God wanted. The hardest part wasn't the flood. It was being the only one who knew what was going to happen. The sky grew dark and windy. Noah stood still and listened to God. God said, "Build a big boat." So Noah picked up a heavy log. He placed the wood on the ground. The ark had started to grow. He hit a peg into the wood. Tap, tap. The beam stayed strong. He pulled a long log through dirt. It was hard, but he didn't stop. He tied thick rope around two beams. Everything had to hold tight. He looked at the sky above. Clouds were coming, but Noah stayed calm. The ark was almost ready. Noah stood at the center, waiting. The birds flew in silence above the trees. They knew a change was coming soon. Noah watched them land nearby. Even the animals were listening to God. More creatures gathered near the ark. God was calling them two by two. Naamah stayed calm as she cleaned her jars and washed her hands with care. Each quiet step the animals took felt part of a special promise. Shem lifted heavy wood beside his father. Each piece was placed with faith. The ark rose taller, but outside, people still didn't believe. Noah placed his hand on the wood. He whispered, "We are ready." Noah worked early as the sun came up. He followed what God told him to do. He paused inside the giant ark. It was big, but he trusted God's plan. He lifted a heavy plank with care. The boat was starting to grow. He pulled a rope and checked the frame. Every part must fit just right. He walked across the wooden floor. The ark was tall and wide. Dark clouds formed far away. Noah knew rain was coming. He sat down to rest. The wind moved gently around him. One day he stood by the ark. It was strong, just like his faith. It was a warm morning, so Naamah checked her herbs near the ark. Japheth had finished his chores and washed his hands by the door. His wife folded the clean cloth, smiling at the quiet around her. Ham sat nearby sharpening his axe, while his wife sewed in peace. At the stream, Shem's wife filled a clay jar as wind kissed her scarf. Shem stood high on a beam, watching the ark rise day by day. As the sun dipped low, Naamah hung the laundry before nightfall. That evening, they sat near the fire. Their hearts were ready. birds circled above as the sky grew dark. Even they felt it. Nama stood at the tent's edge, watching the clouds roll in. Ham ran with water, then froze as the first drop touched his skin. Shem and Japheth pulled the rope tight. Their hearts raced. Inside the tent, Nama stopped. The wind had changed. Rain touched the ground, gentle first, then steady and sure. Noah stood at the bow, his cloak heavy with rain. He stayed still. The family stood together. The waiting was over. It had begun.
These are the healing herbs I was telling you about for the village.
A quiet olive branch floated on water, turning gently like a promise. Naamah watched the light through the window and wondered what it meant. Noah sat alone, silent among the wooden beams, waiting for a sign. Ham cared for the animals below, while Japheth walked above with quiet steps. Shem and his wife filled clay bowls with water, working side by side. Japheth's wife sewed slowly. Even the birds near her stayed still. Ham's wife fed small deer with care, her hand open in peace. Noah and Naamah stood together. The rain was ending, but their hope had just begun. Noah stepped onto the wet ground. A tiny sprout peeked beside his foot. Naamah pressed her hands into the soil. She whispered thanks without words. Japheth looked far ahead. The world felt wide and full of promise. Ham and Shem worked as one. The new shelter was their gift to tomorrow. By the stream, Japheth's wife smiled. Water danced through her fingers. Naamah and Shem's wife pinned cloth in the sun. It fluttered like peace. Ham's wife walked slow through green shoots. Each flower was like a prayer. As stars blinked above, Noah stood still. A new world had quietly begun.
Internet. If you like our content, please do like, share, and subscribe. It really gives us great motivation. Thank you so much.